Welcome to CostX. CostX comprises of two views, a dimension view and also a costing view. The costing view is where our workbooks are located and where we can generate a cost estimate, and our dimension view is where we load up the drawings and do the takeoff. On the left hand side of the screen we have what is known as a CostX task pane. It comprises of two sections, a drawing section and also a dimension group section. In the drawing section, this is where we can load up the drawings. There is a number of different file formats that CostX accepts, anything ranging from a image file through to a PDF file, and also a variety of CAD formats including three-dimensional drawings. If I open up a CAD file first, I'll show you what we can do. With any drawing we have the ability to move the drawing in and out, zoom in and out of the drawing, and we can also pan the drawing around. Further down in the CostX task pane we also have what is known as dimension groups. These dimension groups are essentially the takeoff list. This takeoff list, as you can see, the dimension groups have been sorted into an elemental folders. These folders can be in a trade format, they can be in a custom format, and any of these dimension groups can be added to or subtracted as we move through the measurement. I'm currently using a template. By selecting the dimension group here, FECA, which stands for fully enclosed covered area and is basically the internal area of this building, I can go around and start measuring the FECA. With the majority of CAD drawings, the draftsperson will draw with what's known as polyline areas. In CostX we can pick up these polyline areas, and as you can see, as I move my cursor around the drawing, it's picking up these polyline areas. On this particular drawing the FECA has been drawn, and at a single click of a button we can pick up that area. As we measure that area in the dimension group under the quantity column, you'll notice that we get a quantity here of 572, which is the green area which is hatched on the drawing. With any area that we measure, we also not only do we get the area, but we also get some secondary quantity information. So by hovering over this quantity, you'll notice that we're also getting the number of areas that we've measured as a count. We're also getting the perimeter of the area that we've measured, but you'll also notice that we're getting a wall area and also a volume. The reason that we're getting a wall area and also a volume is because when I measured this, when I set up this dimension group, there was a height which was allocated. So in the dimension group property, I've added a default height, as you can see here, of 3 meters. So when I take off any area, it's going to multiply the wall area and also the volume. So the wall area is coming from the perimeter multiplied by that nominated height of 3 meters, and the volume is actually the area multiplied by that height, and obviously retaining the volume there in cubic meters. If I now select the UCA, which stands for unenclosed covered area, or the external area of the building, we can go and measure the balconies. Instead of using the polyline method in this instance, we're going to use what we know as a standard method. So you'll see that on the drawing we have a cursor which is green and it's sticking to the lines on the drawing, so what we know as the geometry of the drawing. This assists us to take off accurate measurements by selecting what has actually been drawn on the drawing. It's a simple process by selecting a line and clicking in the change of direction. So you see here we have an unusual shaped area with a curve, and quite quickly and easily we can pick up that area. Each time we pick up the area, it'll return the quantity over here in the dimension group. There are other ways that we can measure from these drawings in terms of areas. For example, if I now select a corridor dimension group, which I have in my template, I can go measure the corridor of this floor plan. We have another method which we can utilize to measure quick areas. So anything that's a four-sided area we can pick up with what's known as a quick point. As you see here, it's measured that area, a four-sided shape, and we can actually measure these four-sided shapes and combine them together. So quickly and easily we can measure this corridor.